Okay. So for the windows, inside of the windows, we're going to start with yellow ochre, cadmium yellow light, and a bit of cadmium red light to make an orange. So for the first step, we're going to take yellow ochre, and we're going to come here, and we're going to just pretend there's nothing in there except no window bars, nothing. We're just going from back, inside, the, all the way in, and then we're going to come forward. I'm using a round brush.
And you're just doing that with the ochre?
Yep, just yellow ochre right now. Just yellow ochre. I'm just filling this. It's okay, you don't have to be careful with the frame of the window, because it's going to come over. It's going to be, the frame's going to be over this, so it doesn't matter. And now I'm going to take a touch, very small amount of red, put it in, and just go like this. Let's take a bit
Sorry,
of
the lighting isn't great. So what are you, just putting a line down the center with that?
Pardon? It's the what's I'm putting I put a bit of red in there with the yellow ochre, just a bit on top, right there. I just dipped some red in there with just a bit of a small amount. The lighting is not good, you're saying?
Just at the top?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just at the top. Bit down here. I'll explain why I'm doing this in a minute. Just kind of put that red here and there, on the, mix it with your yellow ochre and just put it in there. I'll wait for it to dry, and it should dry darker. So when you're doing this, you don't want your panels to look to have exactly the same value or the same colors everywhere. You want some parts to be lighter, some parts to be darker, some parts to have stronger yellow in there. And so when you put the panel on top, or the slats, it looks interesting. It doesn't look like a flat. So I have a bit of red in here. White, sorry, white. I'm just going to take white and put it in there. Touch, very small amount. I'm just very, kind of a colorful here. Here, just with the tip of your brush. It looks funny right now, I know, but it will look better later on when we start putting the frame and everything. I think this is not drying dark enough, so yellow ochre for that window is not enough. Take a bit of, I would say, burnt umber. Let's see, a bit of burnt umber in here. Touch of burnt umber, maybe. Let's see. I'm gonna mix burnt umber here. I like that this window up there at the high, this window, I like that the inside is a bit darker than the ones underneath. Don't worry if it looks like a mess right now, doesn't matter. cadmium yellow light, bit of yellow ochre in it. It's always better to start with a bit of a darker color and highlight it than putting a strong color right at the beginning.
So that looks to me like it's more yellow.
Yeah, it is.
You wanted
Yes.
it, did you say you wanted that darker?
Well, yeah, I used yellow and I put a bit of yellow ochre in it, not just yellow by itself. Just a bit of yellow ochre in it. That could be even stronger if without yellow ochre in it. Just a tiny bit. And then I take a bit of white, put it in that same mixture, and I'm going to come here and then highlight it a little bit more down here. And you see, because acrylics dries darker, you'll see that it's going to dry darker. It looks bright at first, but it's not. Once it's dry, it will look darker. And if it doesn't, I would add a bit of yellow ochre or make it a bit darker if it's too bright. Yeah. I made this part a bit darker using touch of the yellow ochre and yellow right there. Next one, same. I'm just following what I see in the reference. I'm going to start with an earthy orange. That means yellow ochre with a bit of red. And I'm going to start from here. It's very close to what I have, what I primed the canvas with because it's orange. And I'm going to start increasing the amount of yellow, putting yellow in there. Put yellow, yellow. When I come to the bottom, I'm just going to add a bit more of that darker yellow in there. So you don't want your yellow to be exactly the same from top to bottom. That's what I'm trying to do. And we're going to do the same, like more once we start when we put the slats on, wooden slats, we'll go in and then put some more of that yellow in some of those window panes. This is just the beginning. This is just the start.
So those two windows look pretty much the same, huh?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so
This kind of. Okay, so now what I'm doing, I'm going to stop in a minute. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking a bit of burnt umber, mix it with yellow ochre, and I'm going to come here and darken a bit the top. Just tiny bit, just kind of gives it some kind of, it tones it down a bit, just the top. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop. And meanwhile, when I stop, I'm just going to make sure that the frames are done properly and same length and everything. Clean up this. All right, let's do these windows. Now that I fixed a bit the frame, let's do the one down here, these two.
I think
And
that
that-
messed
Hmm?
my frames layout. I
You-
just, while I was waiting, I was doing my frames also, and I did it in dark brown, and I forgot I want them in navy blue.
That's okay. I'm going to put green over that, and I'm going to highlight the green. I'm just putting a
Oh.
base, so it's the same. You could do blue, put blue, and then highlight it.
Oh, okay.
We just need a good base for it. So for that, I'm just going to use, for these windows, I'm going to use easy. This is an easy one. Yellow ochre and cadmium yellow light. Bit darker at the bottom, meaning more yellow ochre at the bottom, and yellow ochre and cadmium yellow light top.
That the same as the one on the side?
Yes, but the ones on the side, we're going to make them less bright. So just yellow ochre on the side. Actually, you know what? For this one here, we can do the same. We can do the same on that one here. Like that. Just take a yellow ochre. And because that's a wider, bigger, and a bit, now I'm using cadmium yellow light, but just put the cadmium yellow light from here down. Don't put it from up, from here, from this part down. And don't take it all the way down, just part of it. It makes more sense once we start putting those window bars or slats on. It looks better. All right, that's good. There we go. All right, so this is dry now. These are dry, the two of them, those ones. I'm just going to highlight a bit this part. And that's highlighting, meaning I'm using just cadmium yellow light. And there. Okay, just kind of a bit here. Now the side one, This one is in the shadow area. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take burnt umber with this one, and I'll show you how I'm going to do it. Let's take burnt umber. Oops. Wrong color.
Burnt umber is the wrong color?
No, I used raw umber by mistake. Burnt umber. And I'm going to be doing this. This is a frame. And with the burnt umber, I'm going to go in like that. Let it dry. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do the same with the other windows now because I've done the inside. So I'm just going to take my burnt umber and then just put the frame on. Slowly. It's a rustic kind of cottage, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Thank God it's rustic. Okay. Right now, everything looks so dark. All of those frames are looking dark, but eventually what we're going to do is we're just going to highlight of course, we're going to highlight parts of this, the frame. So I can go back. Do you want me to stop a bit? Shall I stop?
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
just
just give us a minute.
Yeah, sure. All right, I'm just gonna make this. I'm gonna make this a bit bigger, larger. Wider, I should say. Should be wider. Let's see, maybe the bottom ones too. A little bit wider, maybe. I think this is okay. Okay, so for the curtains, I'm going to use cerulean blue and a bit of raw umber. So I'm taking a bit of raw umber with the tip of my brush and then just put it in. That makes my cerulean blue a little bit more earthy. And I'm going to put it here. I know it looks dark. That's okay. I'm going to highlight. But I'd rather always, I like starting dark. The color of the curtains or the curtains shouldn't take away from too much from, they shouldn't be too strong. That's what I'm trying to say. The color shouldn't be too strong.
I'm sorry, Leah, cerulean blue and
Raw umber. A bit of raw umber to tone them down, to make them a bit earthy, so they're not too blue. And you'll see now the reason I do that is that when I start highlighting those windows or this blue, we can see the highlight.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Pardon me. Thank you.
Stop because I'm lifting my color.
Yeah, I'm getting it lifting too.
Because we're going over the same spot too many times. All right. We need to let this dry before we do anything. The blue that we're putting right now, it needs to dry. So meanwhile, while this is drying, I'm going to take burnt umber, sorry. Burnt umber I have here. I can take white, let me see, or maybe titanium buff. Let me see which one is better. Let's see. I'm trying with titanium buff and raw umber. And I'm going to come here and highlight the frame.
What, on the top or the bottom?
Top, the top. Let's take, hold on, let's take a bit of white and put it in. It will just, maybe it'll look better. Okay. It shouldn't be too, see, it's very close to the color of the house itself.
Yeah, it's very close.
Yeah. Don't put too much of it. Just to show difference in the, just to show a bit of
So what do
highlight.
you,
Yeah, raw umber Burnt umber and titanium buff. And if I need to highlight it more, like a bit more white, I add this after. Okay, let's see. Let's do this. Let's do this one. Oh, that's too highlighted, too strong. Darken a bit. It shouldn't be too strong. It just should be a slight highlight there. Put it in the closer to the window pane, window in here instead of closer to the wall. It's better if we leave a bit of dark here. Let me see if I can show you this. It's better if we leave a dark line here between the wall and that's better. That's good. So I'm going to highlight inside here. I'm going to keep away from
Inside the frame?
inside the frame. I'm going to keep away. I'm going to keep a line in here, a dark line in there where it meets the wall. I'm going to try to do that.
Are you doing the top as well?
I did the top already, yes, but I kept the bottom part of the top dark. So I did
The
the
bottom,
top and the
Oh.
bottom part is dark.
okay.
So the highlight is on the inside of the window.
Yes, yes. The highlight is on the inside of the window here, right there. Okay, let me zoom in a bit. Maybe I should zoom in a bit.
I'm getting all kinds of lifting here.
So if I zoom in there, you see that the inside in here, I'm highlighting this part. And you see I'm leaving a line, a dark line right there.
Yeah, I can't, my everything's lifting. I can't seem to get it so that it's fine enough. I'll have to do it later.
Why is it lifting? Should be dry
I
by
don't
now.
know, it's just sort of, it's spreading
Oh, okay.
into the side of the house. I can't get a straight line.
Oh, okay. This is dark and it's going to be here on this side. I'll tell you why in a minute.
And that's on the inside?
And that's on the inside. I'll tell you why in a minute. I'm just going to put it there and I'll explain why. Okay. The reason this is outside here, this one, and this is outside the window pane, and this is inside the window pane, is just because this is on an angle. The window, the whole house is on an angle. So you're seeing the side. You're seeing the side of the
On the inside of the
yes.
frame.
Yes, you're seeing the inside of the frame.
Right.
You're not seeing it
makes-
facing, you're seeing it sideways. So you're seeing the inside.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So now if I'm highlighting the bottom part, I'll show you what you should see. Okay, let me just kind of go back with this. Highlight it a little bit more right here. Just make sure it doesn't look exactly like the wall. But, you know, this is the only window we have to be careful. The rest is going to be mainly green. So we're not going to have the same problem. Okay, so now here on that one, it's going to be like this. I'm going to highlight this part. I'm gonna highlight it to here.
My goodness.
And we're going to leave the bottom part dark and the side dark. Because again, we're seeing this, the side of this window ledge.
What size of brush are you using?
One. Let's make this a little bit wider. I'm going to do the same. Meanwhile, I hope I can do that. I'm going to take my burnt umber, #1 round brush, put some water in your, put enough water so when you put your line, see, watered down. So not too much water, but I mean, it's put a bit of water in there in that color. So the brush slides easily. And now let's take, I don't know how many slots I'm going to put in there. So many of them, but I'll try. 1, 2.
Leah, is that just straight burnt umber?
Yeah, just straight
Yep.
burnt umber.
What a mess.
That's okay. You can fix it. Doesn't matter. Don't take your time. Don't rush.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to redo quite a bit of this just to get the feel right.
Okay, that's all right.
Well, that's why I like the recording.
Yeah. I'm gonna put a couple of stronger yellows in here. Just makes it more interesting. A bit here.
Oh dear.
And that's why I said, that's why I mentioned before that you want the background before we do anything, you want that background to have different variation of darks and lights, and you know, you don't want it to be this one color only. Because once you put those slats, it's easier when you have the slats. When you put the slats, it's easier when you have the background done properly. All you have to do is just come in and add a couple of kind of, you know, highlights or to show a stronger light in some of the window panes, not all of them. I'm kind of toning them down. I like to adjust a bit once it's dry because I know that the color is dry. So now I'm adding a touch of, I'm using titanium buff with burnt umber, and I'm just highlighting this top part of it. And let's do, this part up here is good. So let's do this from here down. Hmm. Okay, so for the curtains, what we're going to do, I'm using cerulean blue right there. I have some raw umber in the cerulean blue, and I'm putting white to highlight it. Not too much, just enough. Highlight. Come here and see, that's a bit too much. So I'm going to add a little bit more raw umber to tone them down. And I'm going to highlight from here down.
You're not showing us on this, use frozen this frame, right?
I'm sorry. I'm recording right now. You can't see it? Is that what
No.
you're saying? What's happening? I am showing you. I am recording. Why?
All I'm seeing is the picture that you stopped.
That's strange. You can't see me. You're not seeing me.
No,
Okay. Maybe because everybody's not there, like they're gone. And I'm not sharing with you. Hold on. Let me see. It's on speaker. I have to keep it. I have to keep it on speaker for now. I'll check after and see what's happening. It's good to know though.